Okay, so today we're diving into a story that's got a bit of everything. We've got big business, international politics, and enough steel to
Right?
probably build a bridge to Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
Okay, maybe not quite that much,
Uh-huh.
but you know, you
Yeah.
sent over some really interesting sources about this
Yeah.
whole Nippon Steel trying to buy U.S. Steel thing.
Yeah.
So
Big story.
let's break it all down.
Yeah, let's unpack it.
All right, so it all started with this rumor
Right.
about Japan's Nippon Steel maybe trying to buy U.S. Steel.
Yep.
Now, obviously,
Big names.
U.S. Steel is like a huge name here in America.
Absolutely.
But I got to ask,
Yeah.
what's the deal with Nippon Steel?
Wow.
What were they hoping to get out of this whole thing?
Nippon Steel's a giant themselves.
Okay.
I mean, they're one of the world's biggest steel producers.
Oh, wow.
Known for their tech, high-tech processes. They're efficient.
Yeah.
If they got U.S. Steel...
They'd have this massive foothold in the U.S. market.
Okay, so you say foothold.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean here? Do we talk in just, like, bigger sales numbers?
More than just sales.
Or was there, like,
A bigger
picture strategic thing going on?
U.S. Steel has a huge network of production facilities.
Yeah.
They've got a really skilled workforce, and they've got the supply chains all set up.
Yeah.
Nippon Steel could just, like, plug right into all that.
Interesting.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's vertical integration.
Okay.
You know, controlling more of that steel production.
Right.
From, like, the raw materials all the way to the finished product.
Okay. So it sounds like a lot of potential wins for Nippon.
Potentially.
But it seems like on the surface, at least, there
Right.
could be some good stuff for the U.S. too, right?
Well,
Like,
really?
what kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, you could see job creation.
Especially if they expand and modernize U.S. Steel's facilities.
Uh-huh.
And there's the innovation angle, too.
Right.
You combine Japanese tech expertise with how we do manufacturing here, you could get some really cool advancements in how we make steel.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then here comes the twist.
Haha. Yeah.
President Biden steps in
He does.
and basically blocks this whole deal.
Right.
So why would he do that?
Oh,
I mean, on the surface, it seems like just like a business deal.
we don't have all the details officially,
Right.
but there's some pretty solid possibilities here.
Okay.
So first off, protecting American jobs.
Right.
That's always a big concern.
Yeah.
Especially for an industry like steel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not just any industry.
it's huge.
Yeah.
It's critical for infrastructure,
Yeah.
national defense, all that.
Yeah. So I can
It's
see how
just
that
anything
raises some red flags.
National security is a huge factor here.
Yeah.
Think about it. They use special steel
Right.
to build ships, tanks, military equipment.
Yeah.
If a foreign company gets control of a big chunk of U.S. steel production, that could cause some problems, especially with everything going on in the world right now.
Right. So
Yeah.
if national security was such a big deal, were there other options here?
I mean, it's possible.
Like, could they have
There are
restructured?
There are examples of foreign investments where they put restrictions in place or they make agreements to protect national interests.
Right.
It all comes down to weighing the risks and benefits.
It's crazy
Yeah.
how this seemingly simple business deal turns into this high-stakes game with so many moving parts.
Absolutely.
This whole thing really shows
That's very-
a bigger trend that's happening.
Yep.
Governments are getting more involved
More and more.
in global business.
Yeah.
There's way more scrutiny.
Especially on foreign investments now.
In those key sectors, especially tech and manufacturing.
Right.
Yeah.
So what does it all mean? Well, you've heard the players, you know, the potential good and bad.
Yeah.
And we've talked about why President Biden probably made this decision.
Right.
But here's something to think about.
Okay.
Is this like a sign of things to come? Are we going to see governments getting even more involved in these kinds of deals?
It's a good question.
And what industries might be next?
Yeah.
I mean...
Our country's going to balance their economic goals with their worries about national security.
Especially in this world where everything's so connected.
It's like we're playing this global chess game, and it's only getting more complicated.
Yeah. A lot to think about.
For sure.
Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
No problem.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive.
Can't wait.
So stay curious.
Absolutely.